preliminary budget done anytime now, for us to work on departmental budgets. But what we need to be doing by the end of this month, what we're talking about today, is setting the mills.
Just the mills.
Those are the mills for the different departments. As well as rural fire, hospital,
Well, I guess
district,
we
the
could
school.
give her something to work with, it might, but they could still be juggled if have to be. Like Nick said, they're not set in stone.
Right. Until
No.
we vote on the final budget.
And if we are gonna change the mills, in my opinion, we'd let the department heads know at the beginning of the year,
I would agree.
not now.
Right.
By the way, we're gonna take away any of the money you saved last year for a CIP plan, spur of the moment.
Sure.
So, in my opinion, we set these for this year and let them know we may change it next year. Which probably wouldn't be a bad idea to reevaluate. So do you guys?
We meet Monday again, correct?
We do, we could revisit this on Monday.
Can we
if you
table
want.
this until Monday, please?
Mhm. Yep. So, anything else on the budget then till Monday? All right, so the last thing we need to talk about is, the building project.
Yes.
We have to, if we are going to move forward, and we have some, cost estimates from Jeremy now, much more detailed than we had before, we need to know if we're gonna move forward, because they need time to do what they
Yep.
need to do, and we need to know how we're gonna pay for it, cause you don't buy something and then decide how you're gonna pay for it. You decide if you have the money, how much, how you're gonna fund it now, and move forward, so,
So, just an update. I did get a hold of Park County just built here recently a phenomenal search and rescue building. Way more in depth than what we are looking. It's complete turnkey with meeting room and training room. And their final project was what Jeremy's saying is that we're looking for a somewhat storage building. So I do have, and I called Jeremy. He's unavailable until Monday.
say that again though, who'd you talk to?
Park County,
Which who?
Wendy.
Wendy?
I forget her name, last name, Wendy. I can tell you right here.
And she told you the whole project was the cost of our storage building?
It was their total project turnkey was $750,000, and that's close to what Jeremy is saying is going to cost us for our building.
We have a cost estimate from a couple months ago that it was 6 million. And that's from a commissioner. So.
$6 million.
Uh-huh. So we need to hash out.
Yeah,
what
because
information you got and what
They
information
just went
we
through it,
got.
and there was some things that they wish they would have done differently. And I talked with Brandon, and they have honestly a phenomenal building with a training center in it. The only thing they wish they would have done is put 2 bathrooms instead of 1 bathroom in this building. And it was $750,000 to, I think she said $800,000. Wendy Wood.
And what's her position?
She is the head. She's the one that snowballed this building project for Park County. I first talked to the Park County undersheriff, Mr. Clay Herbst, who turned me over to Miss Wendy Wood. So
That's great news if it's accurate.
Yep.
But it is so vastly different from what we got
That's
from a
why-
commissioner.
and that's why I tried to get a hold of Jeremy, but he's out of the office until Monday. So my goal next week is to go and actually meet with Jeremy and go over some of these things, because then I went and talked with several different contractors who not only do private but also do commercial. And I went to a building that was it was 60 by 80 with 4-inch spray and foam, complete radiant floor heating, plus a living quarters, 2 bathrooms, and it cost them $230,000.
And whose was that?
This is a private building, but the builder also builds commercial. he built a couple of the commercial hangars out here at the airport. So, because those are commercial buildings as well. So, I went to.
Josh Davis's.
Nope. I didn't go to the. I went to a private. I can tell you who it is in 1 second.
The biggest issue with private over commercial is the Davis Bacon, and
Right.
that's why it triples the price.
Right. So, talking with and just going to this because again, we're not looking for. We're not looking for a huge living quarters, sort of like what this building is, but what it has to offer has a lot of similarities to what we're looking at. And talking with the contractors who also do commercial, he thinks that we could do our building very close to the 400,000 mark.
And that's just the garage, the storage?
That is that whole building, that 80 by 100 building. His suggestion after talking with him was to add another 20 feet onto that building and just do a meeting and office space connected. And the reason why he suggested that is because you're not paying for a whole new construction. They're already there building. So you're just adding on the price of tin to go around that building and finishes for the office and meeting space. So you're going to cut that price way down.
You're paying for 2 less walls.
2 less walls and everything. So his suggestion to really allow this project to take place and meet everybody's needs was to add another 20 feet onto this building. And that way you're not paying another construction. And it goes, I say this knowing I have egg on my face because I wasn't a big fan of having office buildings down there, but if it saves the county hundreds of thousands of dollars, then I guess that would just be financially responsible. So those are the things the last week and a half that I have found out. And that's why I wanted to talk to Jeremy so much, because of just the price discrepancy from what he received and what I've received, not only from commercial contractors, but also from Park County.
Who are the commercial contractors?
I talked with the commercial, I talked with Danny Stubendeck, because he's the one that built the commercial fly. Hangars out here at the airport.
Okay.
And I've also talked with a gentleman from and it's a pole barn. And their concern was if it's commercial, you might not be able to do a pole barn. You might have to do a foundation. But Luke from H&H.
Have you talked to Montana Post Frame?
I have not.
Since they already have a bid with us,
Yep.
they would be a good one to talk
And
to
I've talked
on
with
what
Mike,
we can do.
and he suggested that as well.
Okay.
So those are my guess. My biggest concern was the huge price discrepancies between what Jeremy gave me and what in what I've received thus far. So that's why. Because we really need to get the ball moving so we can get this done very quickly. So that's why I called Jeremy. Like I said again, he's out until Monday. So next week I will be going and talking with Jeremy to go over this stuff with him.
Okay, good.
So
The modular that
Yep.
we had planned, I'm fine if you want to do it attached to the storage building at this point. That's fine. I think there's some things that we need to make sure that everyone's aware of, and Jan, I'm glad you're here. There is black mold in the ambulance building. There's also asbestos.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, we will have a report in September. Here's the thing, it's dormant.
Yep.
It was dormant until a hailstorm came through.
Oh, Lord, the
Yeah.
storm got everybody, huh?
Exactly, it's now, coming down the walls.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've talked to
I've not
Jeremy.
talked with, and
She
that's
called
sort of
Dwight,
why.
He went over and took
Garage
pictures.
sale in there, huh?
Well, yeah, I know, we have to consider that, we also have to consider, we've got employees over there.
Yeah.
How
You need to get out of there.
quickly do we get them out?
And that's
And
why.
if it's no longer dormant.
And that's
If it's dormant, it's okay, but
Sure.
if it's no longer dormant, we have a serious problem
yeah,
here.
and that's sort of what's changed my mind on adding that 20 extra feet, so we can get it done sooner rather than later.
Let me ask you about the 20 feet though.
Sure.
The modular building that was designed specifically for the needs, the immediate needs we have,
Sure.
is 38 by 68.
Yep.
Now you're talking 20 by 60. Can we do 40
Yeah,
instead of
well,
20
and now
so that we can
also a new
accommodate the
de-
meeting space?
Yep. Also, a new development is the ambulance is looking to build their own barn right next to. And I talked with Kyle, so I'm not sharing rumor. I talked with Kyle yesterday, and that is something that they're very much considering, is putting it next to the WIC office.
And we need to keep them in this
Yep.
until they know for sure they
Right.
can do
Yep.
that.
Oh yeah.
That's a better plan for them.
So
and
because they wanted to be closer to the hospital, which Kyle said I agree 100% with. So if that does happen, then we have that whole bay that we could change into a meeting room. So adding
Right.
only 20 feet could be offices, and the actual ambulance bay would be a meeting room. So those
Right.
are the thoughts that I have to
here's
get this
the thing
done
though,
now.
Nick. We're not going to have solid answers quick enough to address these needs.
Sure. And if we have to
And-
move, there's an office space that meets, and if it's very short term, and I understand moving and doing all that stuff is hectic and it's not good practice, but we do have an office space that has a kitchenette that is available if we need to move them out tomorrow. It is available, and if we get on this project and add the 20 feet and do those things and get it done so we can get moving, then it would be very short lived that they're in this building. So I've taken all that into consideration. And I'm not saying my way is the best way, because obviously now I'm saying, hey, let's just add 20 feet to save us a lot of money. Or like you asked, can we add 40 feet? Whatever, it's still going to save us a tremendous amount of money rather than having a whole new four-structured wall building built.
That's fine. Like I said, I support this
Yeah.
so
Is
that we
that the
can
old
get
drugstore you're
something
talking about?
done.
That one half of that
Yes, so it'd be the closest half
to the street.
to the street next to the Betsy's Kitchen, and that has a kitchenette. It has a very large meeting area for 4-H. So if we were to need to move them out because of the black mold and things like that, there are options if it's short term. Now, I would not say that is a long term option, because it's going to cost us money, and I'd rather us be financially responsible, and if we can build this building and save the county tremendous amount of money and still meet everyone's needs, we need to do that, because through this last hailstorm, the old search and rescue building was flooded out. So the grade, whether we can get someone in there to do some grade work real quick to help with that problem, we need to do something, because that's not helpful either. If they were to had to go to an emergency and their building's flooded, that adds problems. And I did see pictures of that, and I did talk to 2 search and rescue members that went there to try to help clean it up. So we do have issues that we need to address. My biggest uneasiness are these figures that we received from Jeremy, and then after talking with these builders and seeing I know it's a private building, and there's some things that are some costs that are going to be a lot more because it is commercial, but that building is amazing. It's just a flat amazing building.
So let me get back to your plan then. So adding on to the end of the building, I understand that there was a impromptu meeting the other day in the stairwell. I walked in on you
Yep.
guys and Mike Delger and Franklin, and you were talking about the meeting room being too big in the plan. So what I want to know is, do you agree with that? And I want to share with you the history of how we got to this size, if you do.
My,
And I
my
just wanna
yep.
say, neither Bill nor Mike was at any of those planning meetings, so I want to bring you into a place of having more knowledge
Sure.
of how we got to this size.
I think the meeting that we were having when my folks were here was the professional building.
That's what we're talking about.
And what I was saying is, it would be an amazing building if you knocked out that whole section of offices, and that could be a huge meeting room.
Professional building.
So that's what we were discussing. Was
So
the
you're okay
professional?
with this size?
Yeah, I have
then?
no.
Okay.
What I'd like envision is a meeting room for somewhere around 100 people.
Okay, this is 25 wide with the bathrooms on the other side.
Sure.
So if you do, and it really is up to you, Nick, because obviously Nick's a no and I'm a yes. So you're the tiebreaker.
Right.
So if you will work to get this done,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to vote with you.
Yeah, I am.
Unless it's
I am.
astronomically expensive.
No,
I've
I
gotta
am
say
looking
no.
to do this the most financial responsible way, and the only way that I can see doing this, because we did get some other quotes from Jeremy in putting a building next door to us and putting a building on the other a meeting room. That's we can't afford that. So this would really be financially responsible, and if we can meet the needs and look for growth, then and still save the county hundreds of thousands of dollars, then that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I've talked with Mike about it. I've talked, I want to go meet with Jeremy and do the bet. And like I said, I plan on doing this all next week. So, and Mike said he'd go with me and talk with Jeremy. So,
Perfect.
so
Perfect.
I'm really trying to be responsible and still meet the needs of the community. So
let me ask you another question that you and Jeremy and Mike might talk about anyway. That is, instead of hiring a general contractor and doing turnkey, putting out for bid for 3 weeks, a owner's representative. Instead of having Mike do that in his professional role, hiring that out. It would be substantially less expensive than a general contractor. It would be faster, and they would carry the liability of the project. Would you talk to him about that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
like I said,
Because I
I
think
want to
that'd be
do
cool.
what's best for our community and not spend a truckload of money.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend a S10 money rather than a King Ranch money.
Sounds
So that's my goal is really to get this project done, and because we have a small window,
good.
and
Yeah.
we're at crunch time, and this has been going on for 4 years. So let's just start putting the hammer to the nail and get it done.
Okay. That sounds good. And then we'll need an answer on, when you get your answer on this stuff, we'll need to know about the modular.
You bet.
So,
So I'm really hoping that we come underneath that 180,000 to add it onto this building, so we can try to get it all done.
another thing is this plan was specific to be able to address growth.
Yep.
There were plans for being able to add on to both buildings. I did talk to Mike about alternatives, and he said, oops, sorry. I'm just gonna let that go for a minute, because it's just a nice icebreaker.
Makes me giggle.
Yeah. If we did go with another plan where it's one building, then in the future, we build another building. So
Right. So
there's
you're not
still
continuing.
opportunity for
Right.
growth.
And I
Just
did
keep
talk
going.
with Mike a little bit, and what we would probably do is change that exact location and turn it the opposite long ways, so you can still get everyone in and out. Because where the projected place is now, you might not be able to get the drive through. So
With the additional.
Yep.
Yeah.
So with the additional 20 or 40 feet, those are things that I'd like to talk with Jeremy about and really nail that down. We're okay with everything at that build site. The water level, we're good with everything. So it's just a matter of let's get that, like I said, the hammer on the nail and get it done.
Okay, cool. So this is on the agenda for Monday, because I didn't know that
Sure.
we'd be able to meet today. We'll table it on Monday for the next Monday,
Okay.
and then hopefully make some
Have some
solid
answers.
decisions. And if you feel you're at that point, we'll ask Jeremy to be here and hopefully
Perfect.
get the engine
Get it
on
done.
go again.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions on that? Bill?
I'm not really for it, but I do got some ideas to help you save some money if you're gonna work forward to this. Like EM West, they build the wall systems for you, which would really save the contractor a lot of money and save you guys money in the long run, because it would be paying Davis Bacon, because they're not on site, it's getting all shipped in.
Oh,
Well, that was the
So-
modular, so,
No,
yeah,
this
that
is-
was the idea of the modular, is you bring it all shipped in.
no,
and
these
that's how you
are,
keep the
our
price
church
down.
did it. These are
Yeah.
wall panels that,
Yeah.
It's this, I know what you're saying,
Mhm.
I know some people did homes that way, but it is the same idea, it's built off-site and brought in.
And the walls are
It's
brought in.
engineered off-site
Right.
and architectured off-site and brought in. The work is done off-site, so you are avoiding Davis Bacon and brought in. I know exactly what you're talking about, it's the same philosophy as the
Okay.
modular.
so tho-
Yeah.
I'm for anything that is prudent and ethical, and let's get it done.
I don't know where they went with this size of the walls, but right before is, I think a 12-foot wall, 11-foot 2 door.
Thing is we still have to bid.
Right,
So
we still have to
anything we
bid.
change at this
I know,
point
Yeah.
has to be
Some of the
bid.
specs, I'm just going over, because 11-foot door is expensive. It's probably way more than a 12-foot door. So if you went with a 13-foot wall, it's gonna cost you a little more heat in the long run, but it's gonna save you on the garage doors and
Yeah,
probably pay for itself.
I mean,
But
I guess I would do this, Billy. If you get me, write down your ideas, get me those ideas. So when I go talk with Jeremy, I hope to meet with him after our meeting on Monday. Go to Helena and meet with him Monday afternoon, and because I really we need to get this done, and to drag it out any further, I just don't think it's is responsible by us. So I was very happy to hear turnkey building in Park County, and she said we can come and visit the building anytime we wanted. I asked her when she was available. She said next week. So if the commission would like to go look at Park County Search and Rescue building and meeting learning center, she is more than willing to walk us through. And that price that she said also included 2 fences around the property. It included a lot of stuff, and she said it's a beautiful building. So it looks like a farmer's barn is what she said, and if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. So
Could you set up a field trip?
I would love
I
to.
would love to go, and we could
because
just take the Fusion.
Yep, she's man, that's I can swallow that cost a lot better than swallowing the other cost,
Yeah.
and especially it being turnkey.
The other thing, when we went and toured the Lewis and Clark Search and Rescue building, it's just Search and Rescue, and that was 1.4. What was so valuable was looking at the size of the space.
Right.
Ours was bigger.
Yeah.
At $1 million less. If we could get the feel of this one in Park County and some of the details on how they were able to cut those costs, we can implement those. I think that would be brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can. Yeah, she's out of the office for this. Today, but she said next week she's available, so I can definitely set something up and
Okay.
see what we can do.
Yeah. And I'll let me know ahead of time, because we'll need to post, and I want a commissioner
You bet.
there as well, because they're the ones who would have funded the project, to walk us through what
Their
their
process.
process was too, and what they would see that they would do differently.
You bet. Yeah, she had a whole bunch of things that they wish they would have done differently, but like the bathroom was the biggest thing, because it is they have a lot of trainings there, and there's one bathroom, so that leads to issues. So just food for thought, and
And ours are
I
gonna
really
have
am.
showers for the weed.
Right,
and
yeah.
Chemical sprays,
Yep.
we have to have men's and women.
Yep. So it's not that I'm dragging my feet. I really am looking into this to do what's best. So I'm not just sitting by the wayside saying, well, in 3 months I don't care anyways. That's not the case. I really am trying to get something accomplished.
And I understand that, Nick, and I appreciate that very much. I can't understand how hard it has to be to come in on the very tail end of a 4-year project. But please understand, that's what we've done for 4
Oh, yeah.
years too. If you want to change the project and they're willing to do the research to do that, I'm fine. The thing is, it needs to get done.
No.
But there was an awful lot of work
Oh, yeah.
that went into the
And
original
I'm not trying to
building project. I know,
disavow anything that you guys accomplished. Honestly, what you've done is it's made it easier to do the research because of all the hard work the years previous. So, like I said, I'd like to see groundbreaking very quickly. So,
we're looking at winter
yeah,
coming, and if we don't get this done, I'm afraid it's gonna not get done.
sure.
And then we're looking at some real serious problems and very strong liability issues.
Yep. So yeah,
Some of our employees, so,
I'm
and not
for-
just extension, but our weed sprayers.
Yeah.
We have several reports that we're out of compliance. As long as we're working on something, they're kinda letting us go,
right.
but we've gotta commit to something, so.
Yep.
I appreciate very much all your work on this.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
like I said, I really hope to meet with Jeremy Monday. But again, he's been out of the office all week, so I'll have to see what his schedule is.
And you might call Marina, see if she
Yep.
can schedule, and ask for Sean as well, because he was involved in this in the beginning.
Okay,
Might help to have both engineers' heads there.
perfect.
Yeah. And Sean has a lot more experience at this point, so being as we are kind of in a hurry, it might be a good idea to have Sean's expertise.
Okay, perfect.
All right. All right, anything else on that subject? Okay. Anything else for the good of the order?
No, I just if we could do Tuesday's meeting like at 2:00.
On the 30th?
Yes.
You bet.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that. And we'll have a public hearing, so we'll schedule that 2 weeks in advance and get that done, 2:00. Remind me if you don't see it on the agenda. Here we go. 2 PM the 30th. All right, anything else? Last chance. Okay, we are adjourned, and I have no ideas to the time. It's of 10:11.
Jenny's gonna email you that.
Thank you very much.
welcome.
And thank you very much for your comments, your input today.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate everybody coming. It was nice to have such a cozy room.
They all boogied out there,
Yeah.
including my husband.
He's like, bam, I'm gone.
Well, he's got another meeting, they did a community needs assessment for the hospital. He had